Well, hey Yardners, it's Destry. Welcome back to my Oregon yard. Today we are going to be tackling my potato patch. We are going to turn this bed. We are going to see what kind of potato harvest we got here in, let's see, it's the last week of October in 2024. I'm excited to see what kind of potato harvest I got this year. So check out the video and let's see what's underneath all this dirt and see if there's some produce down there that I can feed my family. Well, first of all, you guys, today in this video, I just wanted to apologize for my voice. If my voice is sounding weird, it's because I have caught the fall back to school cold, right? As a teacher and as a mom, my kids brought home a cold. I was fine for the week of taking care of them. And then, of course, now it's my turn. So I feel like it's gone through the family. So I'm trying to do a couple gardening tasks that are a little less intense. So we'll see how this goes today. But my plan for today is to just get into this bed, tear out all of this foliage, and start to dig and see what kind of potato harvest we have. We have not had a hard freeze yet. We've had a couple close nights to freezing, and I've been moving in all of my potted plants and all of my more tender plants into the greenhouse. But I really wanted to just kind of be done with this gardening task. So let me flip the camera around and I'll show you what the bed is looking like. All right, guys, so here is my current state of the potato patch, just kind of up close and personal. I can see that I'm starting to get a few little potatoes that are rising to the surface, and most of the foliage is pretty dead. Although when I went in there just now, I'm noticing I do have, a couple stalks that look pretty fresh still. These have been in the ground all summer. I planted these in the spring, and they've just been hanging out. You can see some of the varieties are more dead than others. Some are still pretty green, but we're going to go ahead and just get in here and clean this all out. Most of the potatoes I put in here were ones that I had, actually a lot of them I had harvested last year, and they didn't put on much size. So I just threw them back in this bed to see what they would do. But the other thing I have in here is a lot of weeds, number one. I've got some onions popping out, and then I also have this volunteer filbert tree. So this is a nut tree that I'm sure one of my squirrels has planted, so I need to get that out of there as well. So I have, as far as tools, I just have a little fork here, handheld fork, and then a pitchfork, and I'm just going to kind of carefully get in there, try not to stab too many of them, and yeah, see what kind of potato harvest we got. So normally you want to wait for the foliage to, pretty much die all the way back. But at this point in the season, the nights are cold. I don't think these are going to be doing much more. And my fear is if I leave them in the ground too much longer, they're going to start to rot. I also have irrigation lines in here that I'm going to need to pull out. I've got drip lines here that I'm going to need to be real careful and pull those out first. So let's go ahead and get started and see what kind of harvest we got today. All right, so I think I'm going to start by maybe pulling some of these onions out. And it never fails at least when I've done this in the past, that I end up, getting a few potatoes that I accidentally stab. And I might actually start by just kind of pulling on some of these and seeing, A, that they're going to come out really easily, and B, maybe I can kind of see what the status is here. Because what I'm hoping is they're not all super teeny like this, right? I'm hoping I have some better sized ones. Now, if they are teeny like this, what I can do is I can actually just let these cure and, keep them, and I can either put them back in the ground or next season, or I can eat them. Just depends on what I want to do. But Milo, are you going to help me out today? You want to pull out? I'm sure you want to get in here, huh? Yeah. And I think I'm just going to use that strawberry bed to kind of for my harvest, but let's see what we got going on here. I might just kind of start this in a corner and see how we do. And I do need to be careful of the drip line. So there's one potato. What But I'm a little afraid if I keep these in here too much longer, they're gonna rot. There's one. And of course, I'm excited to actually be able to eat these. Got some onions here. Put on some size. Now with all of these things I'm pulling out, they have to dry. So that's another reason I wanted to get this done sooner than later, because you know, stuff drying right now, it's starting to turn into the wet season, and getting stuff to actually cure and dry is going to be difficult. I'm going to have to put these probably in my shed or my greenhouse, and you know, really kind of let them, you kind of have to let them get that, let the skin of them kind of cure, and that just helps them stay fresh longer. Some of these are really deep in here. Let's see, kind of show you what I'm getting. So this one is a really good variety. Look at the shape of that one's kind of interesting. But again, I didn't want to leave them in here too much longer. And I think I'm going to try to find this drip line before I get too much further into this. But if you've never grown potatoes, I will link a video or two. I think I have a couple different videos about growing potatoes. They are just one of the easiest, one of the, you know, easy hands-off. All right, I got this far here for the strip line. They're a very hands-off thing to grow. You basically just stick them in the ground and, you know, see what they do, keep them watered. And it's pretty amazing. And I have to say, the taste of homegrown tomatoes, or potatoes, well, tomatoes too, but potatoes versus store-bought. See all these little baby ones? See, this is the kind of stuff I probably would just toss back into the bed. If you just continue to have, I've had potatoes in this bed for a couple years now, so I'll just toss them back in or turn them back under. Once the hard frost gets here, I don't think we'll have, oh, look at this. This is one of the pins for the drip line. Oopsie. So ones like that we'll have to eat right away. If they get pierced, they won't keep. So you have to eat them right away if they accidentally get pierced when you're harvesting or when you put the drip line in. This is also, I feel like growing potatoes for kids is really fun, because you can really, I mean, it's really amazing to see that the root is what we eat, right? This part that is in the bottom here is what we eat. So that's one of the things that's important when you are growing potatoes. Ooh, that's a good size one. Is that the soil is really fluffy so that they can do their thing. So I amended the soil in the spring to make sure that they could do their thing. So a lot of the ones I'm getting are super tiny though. So I think I'm just gonna pull them out so that I can really get in this bed and turn the soil, and then I might just pop them back in the ground. Or I might take them out, store them, and then pop them back in the ground next spring. Oh no. All right. Here we go. Look at the size of this mama. Shoot, I ended up piercing that one, but look at that. That's one potato. Wow. It's the thing I don't like about using this big one, is that I can't control it as much, but definitely have a bunch right here. Oh, yeah. Oh, Probably my biggest one so far. Look at this one. See, that kind of stuff is fun to show kids how they grow. Well, it's definitely going to rain on me, which might not be good since I'm fighting a cold. So I think I waited too late in the day to start this project, but at least I'm getting a start on it, I guess. But yeah, I could see if you had like a kid who really liked like digging in the dirt, this would be a really fun project to get kids involved with. Oh, I lost my tool. With my trowel here, and my fork, and I might end up piercing some. There we go. Oh yeah. This one. Ooh, yeah. Now I'm starting to get some more. And again, any of the ones I pierce like that, I'm gonna have to use those right away. Use them fresh. They don't even have to cure or anything. You can just use them tonight. Okay. Let's see what happens when I go here. There we go. Oh yeah. To really inspect these too before I go to store them. Make sure I don't have any with those worms. It's funny, I didn't have that last year. I wonder if it's because I feel like I harvested earlier last year. So maybe that's a symptom of leaving them in the ground, you know, a little too long. They've been too wet for too long. Although you saw the tops, and the tops were still really green. So I'm not sure. I mean, they say that the tops are supposed to be totally dead. Now, another thing, when you cure them, you don't want to wash the dirt off normally, but now with all these little buggies I'm finding, I'm wondering, I don't know, I feel like maybe I will. Maybe if I don't wash them, I'll definitely inspect them very carefully. And some of them are so deep. See, I was just over in this area. Now there's more. Oh, there's a rotten one. Gross, gross. Just when you think you're done, you're not. All right. Small ones, but still more, but still more. Not so small one. Boy, how many potatoes did I plant in here? Holy moly. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I've been out here for about 20 minutes or so, and you can see how far I've gotten here. About halfway the bed, halfway. Here is my pile of potatoes. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, some of them are teeny tinies. So again, ones like this, what I did last year is I just dried them and kept them with my regular stash of potatoes. And then in the spring, I just threw them back in, and this is what I got. So, and I'm sure I didn't get every single little piece like that, you know what I mean? So here is the other half of the stash, the harvest, I should say. That's a better word for that. Here's some random onions in there. Rando onions. But yeah, pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So I have some decisions to make. I think what I'm going to do right now, since A, I'm sick, and B, it's raining, and C, I need to figure out a place to dry these and cure these. So before I go any further, I think I'm just going to let the rest hang in the ground for now. But I am glad that I did this video so that I could just show you kind of what growing potatoes is like. Now, I did grow them in a really large bed. This is a big garden bed here. You wouldn't have to do this. You could do them in grow bags and little pots if you had a deck or a patio. They're such a cool thing to grow, and they're delicious. And I will tell you, they taste so much different than the ones you buy at the store. I mean, even if you buy organic and even if you buy at a fancy grocery store, there's something about just the homegrown ones that just, they're chef's kiss. They're so good. But I got to figure out a place to put all these. So before I go any further, I'm going to go grab, I think I'm just going to grab a big cardboard box or two. I'm going to pop them all in a box and then find a place in my shed or my garage so that they can hang out and dry. And then, of course, I'll be going through and really inspecting them to make sure I don't find any of the others with that wormy problem. That was new this year. I hadn't seen that before. I also found one potato, what I thought was a potato, which turned out to be a rock. So I don't know how there ended up being a rock in my garden bed, but there did. But yeah, I'm gonna just go through these. Now I don't think I'm gonna wash them because a lot of that dirt will just fall off. But what I will do also when I inspect them after they dry for a week or so is I'll make sure that any of the ones that got pierced, in fact, I might even do that sooner. I'll go through and cook those up right away. So those ones will not keep. So, Midnight, what do you think about all this? He's like, what are you doing? You crazy gardening woman. What is happening to my garden? Midnight, do you like potatoes? What do you think? You do? I bet you would. I bet if I made you a plate of mashed potatoes, you would eat them up. I know my kids eat them up. Sometimes I just slice them and fry them. We have mom fries, and they're really good. Well, it was a good thing I thought about doing this today because tomorrow is recycling day, so we would have broke down all the cardboard boxes. But I have a really good one here from Costco. You know, the big, nice Costco boxes they give you. So I am just going to flop these in here. Now, a long-term storage for this is not a long-term storage situation. This is just a curing, drying situation. But for long-term storage for your potatoes, you want something with ventilation. So a basket. I'll show you. I have some plastic, like a plastic kind of basket that I use. Milo, get out of there. But you definitely want something with ventilation, but these just really have to dry. So I'm trying to remove the roots and the, like any stems and roots that I see as I'm kind of putting these in here. And yep, there's another rotten one. So I don't want that. Yeah, I think I just waited a little too long on some of these, or just in general. Probably should have pulled them when it was a little drier. Nope. Milo thinks they smell good. All right, so here is the final haul. Probably could spread this box out a little bit thinner, but I'll come out here and rotate them. I'm hoping for a few more sunny afternoons for these to dry a little bit. I can set them out in the sun, but right now it's raining, so I just have them on my covered patio. I will be moving them into the garage where it's a little bit warmer and they can hopefully cure a little bit longer in there, but I'm pretty excited about how many potatoes I got just in half of that garden bed. I need to get out here and do the other half. And then I'm still harvesting. I harvested these last night. A couple more beautiful zucchini. Still have tomatoes that I'm harvesting. And the garden beds are still in. The garden beds are still in. So any day now I need to come out here and tear all this out, but I just haven't quite had the heart to do it yet. And I'm waiting. I'm just waiting on a couple things to come ripe, like this butternut squash right here. It's like it's almost there. I noticed my ones down in here. Let's see what happened to them. Where'd they go? Oh, these ones here finally ripened up just within the last couple days. I mean, I know they're small, but they're the right color, because when they're still green like that other one, I really can't do anything with them. You can't eat them. So anyway, I'm just waiting on a couple things, and I'm still shocked that I'm still pulling tomatoes out of here that are kind of starting to ripen, but at some point this all got to go. So some point soon, actually. So, but that's going to be a bigger job for another day. Definitely another day. Right now I'm going to go inside and get myself a nice warm cup of tea. Sounds really good to me right now. All right, garden friends, well, that's going to be it for me today. I am dirty, I am wet, and I am cold, and I have a cold, so I'm going to stop while I'm ahead and let half of my potatoes cure and get them in storage, and then dig the other half when I have a little bit more energy. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope that you liked checking out the video and seeing half of my potato harvest, and that maybe it gave you an idea to try planting potatoes in your yard if you've never tried it. It's a lot of fun and a fun and easy crop to grow. If you need me, I'll be hanging out in my Pacific Northwest cold, rainy Oregon yard. I'll see you next time. Bye. Glad I came inside when I did. It is pouring. Oh my gosh. You can hear it on the roof. I came inside just in time, guys. Welcome to Oregon in the fall. Fall has officially arrived. Rain shade's going crazy.